We've got he, him is a theist named Love is My Religion. I might just call you Love. Hey, Love, you're talking with Secular Rarity and Armin Navabi. What do you got for us today?
Well, I've been listening to your show, and basically, I was talking to my wife, who came in 2, 3 times and saying, "What are you doing?" She's a very religious person. I said, "Why don't you join me?" She said, "No, you want to take me off from God? No, I'm not going to join you." So I once joked with her. I said, "Look, I'm an atheist now, okay?" And she got very ticked off.
Whoa.
And then I had to win her over. And I said, "You know who's an atheist? An atheist is an A-grade theist, for he is reaching for the God within."
Okay.
Right? So then I had to explain that but I'm not an atheist. I'm a theist, by the way.
Okay.
Right? But I do believe that atheists are people who are reaching for the God within, not for a God that exists or the seventh heaven or the other stuff, you know.
What do you mean
we do
by a
have
God within? What that
What do you
phrase
mean
in
by
and of
God?
itself, Love, doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I know what each individual, I mean, I have a decent understanding of each individual word, but it doesn't make sense. So when you say atheists are searching for the God within, what does that mean? What am I searching for?
basically we are always going for something higher in the sense of
What does that
understanding.
mean?
So to
What do you mean higher? Do
higher
you
in
mean
the
like
sense
the ladder in the next room, or do you mean like
I'm talking of
something?
understanding, of connecting to people, of bringing people together and all that stuff, you know. So when we do that, we are actually going to be reaching for something which is within us, gives us more power. Now, sometimes we have to rely on, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's the thing. What do you mean by God? What do you mean by
You see,
God?
God, now, I can, let's say, again,
Just
because
can you
I'm an atheist.
just answer this? It's a very simple and specific question, right? When you say God, okay, what are you referring to? Like, how do you define that? I don't. Again, just to be
God,
clear, I'm not talking about. Yeah, go on.
the power within that leads us to do good deeds, right? That is
Okay, the drive,
God.
okay, so you're saying you call the drive. I would rather call it drive rather than power, right? The drive within us that leads us to want to do good things. You call that God, right?
Yes, I do.
Is it? Oh,
Okay.
good. So based on what you call God, okay, I do believe in God,
Yeah.
and
I
I
think
would
that
call
exists.
myself a God. Yeah, because what you're saying does exist, and I do believe in it. Okay, but it's just not a very helpful use of language,
Agreed.
because that's not what most people mean when they're talking about God. I mean, you could keep that definition. It's completely up to you how you use words. Okay, nobody can force you to use words differently. But I think me and Elliot think that when we use words in a way that makes us be able to communicate more effectively, because that's the whole point of words, right?
Yeah.
And for words to be able to be used in a way that makes us communicate more effectively, it's better to use definitions that more people are using, right? That's how they increase the utility of them, right? So based on how you define what God is, I do believe in that. I do believe that thing exists.
Mhm.
I just tend not to call it God. And I think it's not helpful to call it God, because we already have other ways to describe what you're trying to describe. Most people, when they're talking about God, they're referring to something. It leads to confusion if we use the word for God to refer to what you're trying to refer to. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do understand that. Now, the proof of God outside was given to me by my wife. Now, take this as a joke, okay? Now, I said, okay, prove to me
Oh,
that God exists.
before we go to your wife, before you go to your wife, right? So do you agree that, based on, I mean, are you a theist yourself now? If God does not mean the drive within you to do good things, if that was not the definition of God, if the definition of God was this self-aware, conscious a human-like creator of the universe that is actively involved in managing the universe and everything that exists, then would you be if that was the definition of a God, would you still be a theist?
Yeah, I'm a theist, very much a theist in both sense. I'm approaching it in both sense. You see.
Okay.
Now,
Well, then
now
let's talk
I
about
was also
the external sense, because again, I think while that could be an interesting conversation, you know, why Armin and I, because I agree with Armin. I say, hey man, I don't think that's what most people mean. I also don't think it's probably helpful doing that. But like, hey, we know what you're talking about in the internal sense. Fine. We're on board. We say that drive to do good things exists. But let's focus on the external sense. When you're talking about a God in that capacity, what does that mean to you? And then how do we get to, you know, the proof of it, the demonstration of it, right?
Yeah, I was going to give you that external proof too. You know, so my wife, when I asked my wife, give me a proof, she said, look, I have been praying about to God about giving me a perfect man, and He gave me you. Right, so that's
I mean, that's sweet. That's really sweet, you know. But obviously, it's not, you know, that's not something that's actually going to help demonstrate anything. Yeah, that's. I think that's adorable. I love that. I'm glad that.
Honestly, if that line was given to me, I would not argue with that. I mean, sometimes you want to be right, and sometimes you just want to be romantic.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Who said atheists don't understand romance? But I mean, come on, love. If you believe that there is this external version of a God that exists out there, okay? Armin and I are in the boat of saying, you know, look, we don't think so. But if it's out there, we don't want to be wrong. Like, we want to be correct on this. So if it's really out there, what was it that tipped the scale for you to actually start believing that it exists? That external God, not that internal drive to do good, that external, in reality, super duper real God. What was it that led you to accepting its truth, the truth claim there?
now let me a viable proof that God exists comes like when a person is doing his utmost to be successful in a given thing, and in spite of all his effort, he fails, and he is at the peak where he wants to go berserk. He might go berserk or might just commit suicide. He gets satisfaction in the belief that, oh, this is the will of God, right? Now, when the rubber meets the road, this guy, this belief, call it.
Oh, you still there, love? We might have got disconnected. I don't know.
I'm feeling weird calling him love. Hey,
yeah,
love.
I know, me too. It is a little strange, you know. But
Hello, can you
hey, pumpkin.
hey, we got you. Okay,
Yeah.
are you still there, love? I wanna try to finish.
Yeah, I'm here. Where did I get stopped? Should I start from the beginning?
It was like right at the
Viable
point of you saying, it sounded like the last thing I heard was, you've got this person that's trying their best, and despite all their best efforts, they continue to fail. It provides them comfort in that moment to say, this is the will of God, that I'm not succeeding despite my efforts. Was there more after that?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, now, whether true or false this belief is, it seems to be true, because where the rubber meets the road, this guy is getting the satisfaction. It's keeping him from going berserk. It's keeping him from committing suicide.
Okay, so let's just stop right there for just a second, because I think this is really, really crucial, okay? It sounds like what you're saying is that the truth of this claim of whether or not God exists is demonstrated by when people believe that this thing exists in difficult times, it provides them solace and comfort. Is that a decent understanding of what you're saying? Is that what you're getting at here, love?
Very much, very much.
Okay, perfect. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page, because here's why I want to tell you that is super duper bad. A super duper bad way to come to a conclusion, okay? Because here's why. It provides me comfort in times of difficulty and strife to think that God isn't real, and I don't have some all-powerful, all-loving deity that could make my life better, and that I'm not just some puppet that's being fucked with so that something can get its jollies. That provides me great solace and comfort, and actually it provides many of the people currently watching this show live with us very great solace and comfort. Does that then mean that God does not exist? Does that have anything to do with the truth of whether or not God is real?
Well, for the person who believes and who gets solace, for him, God is real.
Nope.
For the guy
Nope.
who's not believing.
No. It's true or it's not true, right? If it's true for you, it's true for me, because truth is not this willy-nilly, we just get to cut it up and pull out whatever we want, man. We are making a claim about the external world, okay? We're not making an internal claim here. It's different if you say, I get comfort in this thought, right? That's different, because that can be true for you and not true for me. But when you take the step to go outside, when you take the step from internal to external, this idea of it's true for me, maybe not for you, it doesn't work anymore. Either 1 + 1 is 2 outside of all of us, or it just isn't. And if the criteria you're using is comfort in difficult times, the problem is we have a bunch of people out there who think Allah's real and provides a lot of comfort when they're having trouble. Then we got a bunch of people out there that get a lot of comfort thinking God's not real. And then we've got the thousands of other gods as well. And because this methodology can equally lead us to any one of these conclusions, it is a poor methodology for determining what is actually the case, man. Are you following that? Are you following that with me?
I am completely following that. But what do the results prove? That's what we have to see.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But those are two different. We have to look at two different things, right? You're trying to be practical. So whether or not the belief in God is helping people on average, or is causing more harm than or good in different individuals, that's one claim that we have to evaluate, which I actually disagree with you on that. Yeah. But it doesn't really, and another thing is, even if it was helping people and it was useful people, would that make it true? Because that seems like you seem to be suggesting that if it's practical, if it's helpful, that's how you evaluate if something is true or not. So let me actually play this game with you. Do you believe that the Earth is more flat or spherical? Like which one of these shapes do you think the Earth is closer to?
If the Earth is flat or
just answer my question. No. Answer my question. Which one of them is closer to the shape of the world?
God.
Answer my question. I'm just trying to make a point through example. Answer my question.
Okay, I will answer your question. According to what I see, it's round. It's not flat. But I'm
okay. Great.
But hang on.
All right, hold on. I will make you say, "Who cares? What does this got to do?" Well, if you give me a chance, then you will see how it's connected. You're like, "How is this connected? What does this got to do with the belief in God?" Well, maybe if you're patient enough, you will see the connection here. All right. So imagine if we had some people who were stressed out over the fact that the world is spherical. it really pisses them off. They don't like that. They are constantly thinking about what will happen if we go to the other side. What is keeping all of the, what is keeping people on Earth? And then you're also telling them that we're not in the center of the universe. And what does that say about the position of humans in the universe? All of this is stressing the crap out of these people, and they don't like it. All right, but if you tell them like, no, all of that was just a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. There are a whole bunch of Illuminati or Satanists or whatever. They came up with these lies. All these pictures are fake, and the reality is that the Earth is flat. And you tell them, and it calms them down. A lot of them were like thinking really dark thoughts, and they were going to do things that I cannot say here on YouTube. But now that you told them that the Earth is flat, now they're calming down. They're like, okay, everything makes sense now. My worldview is now in line with what I want it to be. All good. And it really helped them. It really helped them calm down. Would that mean that the Earth is flat, given the utility that this belief has to those specific people?
So you're talking about the utility approach. Okay, the thing is, of course, they need to be educated, right? And like
my
you
question,
are...
Answer my question. Love. Answer my question. Okay? You said that if the God belief, it works for some people, it helps them with their mental well-being or whatever, right? You said that makes it true for them. So that would make it true, right? So I'm saying, would you apply the same standards? If we told some people that the Earth is flat, and that helped them calm down and help them feel better about themselves or whatever mental, improvements that it had, would that make it true? Would that make the flat Earth theory true, given that it's helping them with their whatever mental issues they're going through?
Of course, it won't make
If it did.
true. That won't make it true.
Say that again. Say that again, love. What did you just say?
That is going to not make the Earth the flat. You see, we have
boom,
to
boom,
understand
boom.
what does it mean.
Hang on, love. Hang on. That's really, really important. That's a really, really big step. Okay. And I apologize if it looks like I was crying. I was laughing really hard off camera. I'll explain in a second. It's not at you though. It was just something, the way Armin said it. It really tickled me. But that is a really big step, man. Okay. Recognizing that just because it makes somebody feel good, just because there is a practical utility to a claim, does not affect the truth of the claim at all. Whether or not Armin is bummed out by the shape of the Earth has absolutely no bearing on what the shape of the Earth is. And that is 100% true for everything else. God especially. If I feel good because I say, hey, God's not there, that doesn't have any bearing on whether he is or not. And the same for the believer. Armin, any other thoughts? I know we're probably about done. I think that was a great place to kind of end at, love. But if you have one or two more thoughts, give me a thought, and then we'll wrap it up with you.
Okay. The thing is, as far as Earth is concerned, whether it's round or whether it's flat, we do have scientific proof, right? But whether God exists or does not exist, we do not have proof of both things. The only proof we have is when...
Call us another day and let's discuss whether we have scientific proof for or against the existence of God, because I think I take a little bit of an interesting stance there, which is when somebody says, do we have scientific proof for or against God? My comment is normally it depends on your God. So call us about that in the future, man. I love talking science and God. Thank you so much, love. This was a really good chat. I thought it was, it was good. You didn't get yelled at though, Armin. You really wanted to get yelled at today.
Oh,
sorry about that, man.
I'm sad now.
Yeah, I know.
But again, love, is if you're listening to this later, that was not the point. Whether or not we have proof or not, the point is that the utility of a belief does not make it true. It doesn't really matter. Okay. If you didn't like the flat Earth claim because you say like we have proof that the Earth is not flat, I could easily come up with another one, right? I could here's it. I believe that the universe started out of the fart of a giant turtle in a
Ooh.
parallel universe. Okay,
Yeah.
a giant
That makes me
turtle
feel good,
farted,
Armin.
and yeah, and that fart was the Big Bang in our universe. Okay, I like that. That makes you. Does it make you feel
It
good? It
makes me
makes me
happy.
feel
It
very
makes
good.
me
Okay, if you take that away from us, we're gonna be very, very, very sad. Okay, I might actually go ahead and cry. Right. So does that make it true? Okay. Now here, I just gave you a claim that science has not proved that is true, but it also has not been able to refute it. There's no proof that this is not real. In fact, because it comes from a parallel universe, that you have no access to it. There's no way that you could falsify this claim. There's no way. Go ahead
There
and
you go.
try. All right. So there you go. Now my claim is true because it makes us happy. Apparently.
So
that makes Santa real, by the way.
yeah, it does. It does make Santa real, and the Tooth Fairy, and a lot of things. So the reason, so that entire time that I was off camera there while you were talking to the last call, I was literally crying. I was laughing so hard because what you said about like, there's this group of people out there that get really upset that the shape is like the shape of the earth is spherical. What popped into my head is like an 8-year-old like sitting on his bed, like real sad, and his dad comes in, is like, "What's wrong, champ?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. It's just the world's probably a ball." Just the thought of somebody being like deeply emotional because the earth is like a certain shape. It really got me.
By the way, I wasn't making that up. There are people who stress out over this a lot. Like there are people who think that the idea of a spherical world is terrifying. Like they do exist.
That's why. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.